already did. Okay, hello everybody. Oh, I need to turn that light up a little touch. Maybe a little more. Oh, that's because that light bulb decided to go out. So, hopefully you're all doing well. I'm already dropping frames. Awesome. Life is good. And you can hear the washing machine in the background. I do apologize. And yes, I'm aware my sound is low, because I had not yet brought in my trusty cohort, my microphone. So, please let me know if the sound is too high or too low. If I sound a little hot, I understand. It's because I'm sexy. Let me see here. Okay, so, as I said, couldn't find anything in the news. Didn't really want to cover anything I already covered this week. Hello, Bezic. Hello, Will. Hello, Maureen. Hello, Stormy. And I do believe I saw Bleach in here as well a moment ago. Yep. Hello, Bleach. Yes, I am, in fact, opening up the floodgates. I am willing to field any question on any topic today. I don't claim to be an educated man on any of them, but let's have some fun. Let me see. What do we got here? Loading up some weird ones. Please do. So, hopefully everyone's having a good day. Good evening in the case of my friend Bezic. I do believe it's middle of the night where he is. I'm guessing Bezic has adapted to vampire hours at this point for the streaming. Based Ape asked me, what is the correct way to treat a sausage? This is going to be a touchy subject for Maureen, but you fry the damn thing. You fry it until it surrenders. Or you boil it. Broil it. Put it in the roast. Any number of things. Hello, Kizza. Good to see you, my friend. But yes, the correct way to treat a sausage is, in fact, to fry it until it is crispy. You do not throw it in a pot with vegetables. That is haram. Yeah, everything we covered on Wednesday is, as far as I'm concerned, very well covered. I did a video on the Crowder situation, and I've had conversations with some of my friends, some people in the chat, some other people on Discord alone. I'm very happy to see people are throwing weird, some very weird questions in. That's awesome. I will get to your question in just a second, Bleach. Yeah, Will, as you mentioned, we did cover a lot of stuff on Wednesday, some of which we actually touched on again on Sultans, which was good. Of course, with Sultans, we have the lovely non-swatch, which is always brutal, to say the least. Okay, so let's see. We've got a few questions here. Bleach asks, what is the best avian cloaca from a practical aesthetic? Well, I know some birds do not, as the expression goes, shit on the wing, which means they don't actually drop anything while they're flying. I know crows do, and I know seagulls do, because, well, I've cleaned fish around seagulls. They definitely crap on the wing. Bit of ringing in my ear. I think I'm getting tinnitus ASMR from the washing machine. I apologize. Oh, Callum Dayton is in as well, is he? Ah, hey Callum, how you doing? Let me see. Yeah, I mean, seagulls have survived all kinds of things and in all kinds of environments. One of the most jarring things that I've ever had happen to me was to move roughly 3,000 kilometers away from the nearest ocean and still find seagulls. This was when I lived in southern Alberta. Kizza asks, out of 10, how much do you trust me as your king if I got the crown by some cosmic measures? It literally depends on the measure you use to get the crown. If you do it by direct action, I would trust you more, because an open tyrant is sometimes better than a false dictator. Trudeau. Anyway, we'll move on from that. Hello, Maureen. Yeah, Maureen thinks we both suck, monkey. Bezic has indeed embraced the vampire life. Oh, speaking of embracing the vampire life, if you guys have ever heard the name Don Henry or seen the show Mad Mad House, or have not, I actually recommend at least the first season of that because it was kind of hilarious. They featured a bunch of different people who lived alternative or alt lifestyles. One of them was a vampire lifestyler named Don Henry. There was a guy named Art who was a modern primitive who did a body suspension ritual with hooks, which was actually quite interesting to watch. Let's see, what else have we got going on here? Based Ape asks, have I ever seen the clown that hides from gay people? Yes. Nice try, though. Callum says he's playing MechWarrior 5 and still hear talk of crow's ass and Gentiles. Emperor have mercy. Yes, indeed. Just 1 second. I don't see the entirety of chat at the very bottom of my screen, but my girlfriend, who's in the room, just turned around and gave me a look, so I suspect she's asked a very interesting question that I'm going to have to undock this chat box to see. That was a very good question, Monkey. I like that one. Let's see. Bleach asks me, who has the biggest ears in the right of Mao commenter sphere? No, my ears are relatively small. You're giving me this look and I'm starting to get freaked out. Oh, now I see. Do I use wax on my dome? No, it's all natural hand polish. Also, just so that she's looking at me. I'm being given the finger from across the room. How nice. We do love each other very much, obviously. Supreme Emperor Kiza asks, am I a miserable little pile of secrets? 10 points if you get the joke. I recognize the reference. It's very faint in my head. But no, there's nothing miserable or little about me. And I only have a couple of really dark secrets. One of which I mentioned to my friend Trim's Art Shack today involves yogurt and a stuffed llama. But we won't talk about that here. Bleach says I should now make Stormy a sandwich. I will happily make Stormy a sandwich. For I am, in fact, a good man and secure in my masculinity. Let's see. Okay, well, since not a lot is going on in chat, I'm actually going to crack open my Internet Explorer. No, I don't actually use Internet Explorer. I'm using Brave, though I'm thinking about switching to Firefox. And let's have a look at my Twitter. Okay. Let's get you docked back where you should be. There we are. Castlevania. Since Maureen is here, Bleach asks, best stocking on a woman, fishnets or seamed? Oh, absolutely. That seam, that line down the back of the leg, oh yeah. Oh yeah. That classic look, yeah. Fishnets are for whores. Sorry. Oh, it's a Castlevania joke, I see. Yeah, that's something, Dracula says to, reaching for the name of the protagonist, Simon Belmont, if I remember right. Is that from the original game from, like, way back? Brunchcast says, I once had someone tell me they were a vampire, and a vampire priest flew up for his wedding. I asked, did he use a Good job. Very good. Oh, God. Oh, what is a man? Miserable little pile of secrets. Yes, okay, I do recognize the reference now, Kizza. Thank you. Bleach Demon. How much hurdy could a Ouijan Gertie if a Ouijan could hurdy-gurdy? Callan Dayton says Firefox is okay. It takes some getting used to. How much hurdy could a Ouijan Gertie? Well, I would imagine it depends on the worth of his girth. And the, oh, okay, I can't come up with a better rhyme. We'll go with that. Yes, Maureen absolutely agrees. Seemed, of course. Just found the fishnets first. I see. Kizza says Firefox is a ram whore. Okay, that's not good. Do you guys have a better suggestion than Brave? And please don't suggest DuckDuckGo to me. I'm very, very sick of DuckDuckGo and their kowtowing to Google. You put something in the chat, didn't you? What, are you just looking at me for fun? You do realize that came right through the mic, right? Okay. At least I assume it did. Yes, Bleach, you're right. The only right answer is, in fact, seemed. So let's have a look at Twitter for shits and giggles and see what's trending today. I'm not a huge football fan, but the Giants playing the Eagles really means nothing to me. Okay, that's a little much. Decapitating turfs. I won't even say this one. Why are we boycotting Scotiabank? For those of you who don't know, Scotiabank is a Canadian banking firm. They may possibly have branches in the States. I don't know. But let's see what's being said. Of course, Viva Frei is at the top of the stack. Scotiabank's legal stuff. No matter how cynical you get, it is impossible to keep up. Lily Tomlin. Okay. So what's being said on this? Lost my respect in my business, Scotiabank, and I hope every proud Canadian business will ditch your bank too, because you forgot your core job is banking and not pushing sick leftists to jail. Oh, really? Okay. Jonathan K. says, a friend of mine is applying for jobs in Canadian banking. At Scotiabank, here's one of the first questions. Gender identity. Yes, because it really matters what gender you are in order to hand someone money. Wow. Okay, can someone explain to me what pangender is? Meanwhile, I'll check the chat. Let me just get that off the screen. How much hurty? Firefox is okay. Seemed. Only right answer. The answer's my only question. Blackout. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Kizza says, no, it's from Symphony of the Night, and that was towards Richter Belmont. Kind of explains why I don't really know the reference, because I've probably seen it as a meme somewhere. I don't think I've ever even heard of Richter Belmont or seen Symphony of the Night. Bleach says, if socialism becomes a reality, which dystopian model would you like to see and which would you most fear? The one I would most fear is live in the pod, eat the boogs. The one I would probably be most okay with would be something along the lines of kind of an absentee governance, where the government basically decides what the hell they're going to do on an international scale, and regularly leaves the local jurisdictions to themselves, so that if someone wanted to farm or produce food for themselves, enact barter systems amongst their communities, they'd be ignored. Of course, we all know socialism can't do that. Microsoft Explorer. Is Microsoft Explorer really that good? Blackout says he's shooting for a Brave New World flavor of dystopia himself. I really need to re-familiarize myself with Brave New World. It's been, oh gods, I think it was in early high school the last time I actually looked at that book. Stormy agrees that Scotiabank is garbage. I tend to agree. Let's move chat over a little more so I can see a little more of it. There we go. Kizza asks, what is the best chainsaw in regards to cutting power? Asking for a friend. Depends on what you're cutting. For cutting wood, I would recommend something like a Husqvarna. For cutting, say, the flesh of the occasional prostitute, I cannot advise you. Let's see. Bezic says there are only two browser options, Brave and Firefox, and Chromium that Brave runs on is killing ad blocking. Oh, sorry. There are only two browser options, Brave and Firefox, and Chromium, which Brave runs on, is killing ad blocking. I generally don't ad block anyway, but what I do is make sure that they don't have access to my personal information, so I get random ads as opposed to targeted ads. which is occasionally entertaining because I live in Canada, and every now and again I get a Japanese or Chinese ad on YouTube. It's friggin' hilarious. Someone asked, pangender, is that like a satyr? I'm not 100% sure, Will. Pangender is identifying as a frying pan, well seasoned, so obviously cast iron. I don't think those people are that hard. It's chrome all the way down. Bleach says, sounds like modern Canada. It would be nice if it did, but it's not. There's no homesteading in Canada anymore. Bleach, I would prefer being a savage in the Brave New World. I definitely need to refamiliarize myself with Brave New World. I have not seen the series. Had no real interest in the series. Blackout says all browsers are built on... Oh, sorry, I've gotten Will and Blackout confused, I think. My apologies. Blackout says all browsers are built on the Chrome framework. They're all ram whores. That's good to know. Honestly, I'm considering... I plan to pick up a PC for doing this stuff because this is very hard on my laptop. Sometimes towards the end of this year, I'm hoping. Already started saving for it. What I'm planning is, or considering, is looking at Linux as the base operating system for that. Let's see. Isn't pangender an alternative to pansexual? Also, should my new army only use 7.62x54 for its main weapon and shit on NATO? No, I think, given the universality of NATO's 7.62 cartridge, it's actually a good idea to use that, thereby saving, potentially increasing stores of ammo by taking it from your enemies. Not that I think you should be enemies with NATO, of course. I just think NATO is an organization that's far outlived its usefulness and should be ended. Not unlike the UN. Or the WEF. Supreme Emperor Kiza. Who said anything about cutting up prostitutes? They're useful, unlike your average politician. See, that's where you're wrong. Because your average politician is a prostitute. Just moral rather than sexual. Edge runs on the Trident engine. Don't use Edge, though. Okay, Monkey. When you say don't use Edge, do you mean you don't use Edge, or you're recommending I not use Edge? Let's see. Blackout agrees with Bleach. Savage all the way. It seems the freest way to be. Hello, Marku. Nice to see you. If you have a very weird question, please feel free to ask it. Blackout says he uses Edge for work because it ties into Azure. Now you've just lost me. Unfortunately, my boomer is starting to show. I don't know what Azure is at all. Chrome is better than Firefox in RAM usage. Good to know. Kiza says I missed his military question. If that was the one about the cartridge, I think I did answer it, actually. Let's see. Pangender. Yes. Okay. Oh, also, pangender being an alternative to pansexual. If I remember right, now that I've actually thought about it for a bit, I believe pangender means that... also, I'm going to bring this screen back because I just realized something. It says here cisgender. However, down here it says man, and down here it says woman. And here it says trans. What? Yeah, Scotiabank makes no sense. Anyway, we have more trending over here. Health Canada is trending. I'll come back to that later if there's a lull. Okay. Just to scroll back, just to make sure I didn't miss Kiza's best chainsaw. I got that. Kiza, Symphony of the Night. Oh, hello, Trim. Nice to see you. Just 1 second. I'm just checking for a question that Kiza said I missed. I think I did answer your question about cartridges, Kiza. Military question, yeah. Firefox is really fallen, says Blackout. Stormy is nice enough to be my cheerleader and point out that we have 11 watching and only 6 likes. Beat that like button like it owes you money, guys. Kiza, the shitting on NATO was referencing in regards to going against 5.56. Ah, okay. You know, there's probably something to be said for having a proprietary cartridge. That way, if You have to give ground. You leave nothing useful for your enemy. The downside, of course. However, if you could do something akin to the 32 Special, 32 Magnum sort of situation where you can fire a 32 Special, or sorry, maybe I'm thinking of a 44 Special. Yeah, you can fire a 44 Special out of a 44 Magnum, but you can't reverse it. If you did something like that where your loads were hotter than what the enemy was using, but fit their barrels, that would be fun. TSF Caesar is in. Hello, Trim. I do believe I said. Monkey recommends nobody uses Edge. Don't use Windows at all. Yes, but that's because you're an Apple whore, Monkey. Let me see. Bleach. If you had to conquer a small third world country, which would it be and why? That's a good question. Let me see what countries are in the third world here. Okay. Third world. Related concepts, etymologies, third world. Okay. Let's do a country list. And we can probably knock a bunch of them off the chart real fast by going, I'm not going anywhere cold. Let me put my camera back up here. No, okay. Move my camera there. Let me just shrink that a little bit. Move me over there. And we'll put me up in the corner. I don't like being in that corner. Let's put me in that corner. That's better. Okay. So, better lock that back down before I screw that up. Okay. 152. Are we assuming developing countries count as the third world? What the? Okay. So, in the Americas. I do believe this is every country. Yes. If Canada is considered a developing country, something's wrong. Okay, so we have a meaning and a list of third world countries. List of third world countries as of 2020. Afghanistan, don't want it. Algeria, full of French people. Afghanistan, nah. Though they do have a good military. Now, Angola, Bangladesh, Benin, Bhutan. If Bhutan is the one I think it is, I might go for that because they have the coolest flag. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. So, yeah, Bhutan, which is actually one of my favorite countries to talk about because one of the great things about Bhutan is their monarchy measured the people's well-being not in their financial or GDP. They measured based on their happiness. I think that's a good idea. Kizza, you're also a monarchist. Let me know what you think of using that as the metric for how well the people are doing. And at this point, we'll just say, yeah, I'll take Bhutan. Let me bring... Okay. And put my beautiful face back where it was. Oops, not quite right. It'll do. Anyway, I do have a fascination with OBS's functionality. I like OBS far more than I like Streamlabs. Let's see. Trim, if had to conquer. There we go. Trim is saying something about a bundle of cigarettes. English cigarettes. Callum Dayton hates Windows 11. I'm not particularly fond of it either. I did have a hard time getting used to Windows 10, but yeah. Kizza said I did get it. Okay. Okay. I kind of figured that was what had happened because that you had made the comment about going back and I had already covered it. Bezic says, beat that like button like it's a Mac whore monkey. Nice. Okay, Bleach is correcting me. 38 Special and 357 will interchange for cartridges. Or you can put a 38 Special in a 357. I think that's right. Trim asks, shotgun with pellets or slugs for vampires? I would load it with garlic salt and, depending on the flavor of vampire, silver flakes. and holy water if that's applicable. Kiza, I'd recommend conquering Venezuela as they have loads of oil. And of course, Stormy did say nobody puts Arden in the corner. Yeah. Callum asks, what's people's take on chewing gum? I do occasionally chew gum. Generally in situations where I can't have a cigarette at all. But I've found that it's not really conducive to making me less hungry. I find that if I take in too much acesulfame potassium, aspartame, I get headaches. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of chewing gum. Bubble gum I don't mind, but that's packed full of sugar and, well, makes you look like a child because you're blowing bubbles constantly. Marku says he has nothing weird to ask, so I'll ask what's going to be Shadilay the Sultans of Shadilay's Sultanate's service weapon. We were discussing it in Discord. I recommend the FN High Power, but I'm special that way. And I'm sure there will be people screaming in the chat now. But I think it should be something in 45. Taking over Venezuela would be easy. A shipping container of MREs and hand out single-shot 22s. You could do it in a matter of days. Oh, God. Yeah, they did the same tyrannical thing that every other socialist country does, didn't they? Basically claimed everybody's guns and then told everybody, oh, yeah, by the way, we're in charge now. Yeah. I don't know who said it, but there's a saying that comes to mind quite often when I think about things like that. And it basically goes, governments should be afraid of their people. Mark, who says Europe counts as third world as far as I'm concerned. Well, you've certainly imported enough of it. Bleach says foul in the inch pattern. Let me have a look at fouls. And I do believe he's talking about rifles. I don't know that I know that foul makes... Oh, yeah, no, I do like the foul. I did a review a while ago about Way of the Gun for my Monday pieces. And one of the guns that features in there is a foul towards the end of the film. Benicio del Toro with a foul, actually. I like it. I really do like... Aesthetically, it's a very attractive rifle. And what does it fire? What is the caliber that it's normally chambered for? That's a 50 model? That can't be right. Let me see. Mass, length, barrel length. Cartridge. 7.62 51 NATO, 280 British, 7mm Liviano. That's a pretty set of pieces there. Let me just show you this screen. So there's your 7 NATO. There's your 280 British. Oh, is it going to come up with a picture? There it is. It's a 280 British. That's a pretty set of rounds. And then your 7mm Liviano, which I assume is the same. Okay, yes. A short stroke gas piston, closed tilting breech block. Sounds interesting. 650 to 700 rounds a minute, so it's fairly quick. Muzzle velocity is decent. Effective fire range 600 meters. 20 or 30 detachable box, 50 round drum. Okay, I don't understand. If you have a 30 round box mag, why would you bother to switch up to a 50 round? Why would that not be... Well, that might be a technology issue. Ramped aperture rear sight. It's a very attractive gun. I think it's quite nice. Yeah. One thing I will point out that I did find very, very attractive, and I know at least some of you are going to be very mad at me over this. The P90 with a long barrel, it's far more attractive than the short one. Let me see if I can get the one I'm actually looking for. There we go. Sorry, girlfriend was making some sort of weird signal at me. I don't know what she was after. You need me to scroll down through the chat? Okay, apparently I'm being stage managed by my girlfriend now. I'll get to everybody's comment before I'm done, I promise. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. That is, to me, a very attractive rifle, but I'm probably going to get told off. My favorite movie is very simple, Star Wars. And it's not so much my favorite movie as so much my favorite movie franchise. Christopher's popped in. Hi, Christopher. Let me see. I'm kind of far back in the chat here now. Okay, taking over Venezuela. Foul in the Inch Pattern. There we go. Favorite movie? Yeah, my favorite movie series is Star Wars. Always has been. My single favorite movie? It's very difficult to pin down. If I had to choose one movie that I would watch with a romantic partner, it would be What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams. If I had to pick a movie just to sit down and watch at random for myself, I very much like Lady Hawk, though again, that's more of a romantic partner movie. Way of the Gun, as I mentioned, is another good movie just to watch over and over. It's got a great scene at the beginning where Sarah Silverman gets punched in the face. Let's see here. Second World Nations, that's where you want to live. Bezic Bezic is beating the I was right drum. Yeah, you did tell me Streamlabs was shit, and yeah, I'm glad I finally listened, but I'm also glad that I stuck with it as long as I did, because switching from Streamlabs to basic vanilla OBS, it made it much more intuitive for me. Kizza says he would combine happiness with living standards, GDP, per capita, and low crime. Seems fair. Blackout says we all know Canada's on a steady decline. Yeah, I don't know how steady it is. It seems like the decline is kind of, yeah. Canada's in free fall. Yeah. Based Ape says his happiness is directly correlated with economic and social value of those around me. Christopher pops in and says, hello, Newfish. Hello, Belgish. Let's see. Battle rifles or assault rifles are great. Battle rifles are greater than assault rifles, yes or no? I don't know the technical definition differences, so I'm guessing a battle rifle is a heavier weapon. I like the, I guess, mobility that an assault rifle would give if it's the lighter of the two. Trim asks, what did I think of Arch's stream with Christopher? I thought Christopher did very well, but I will give him the tip that it's somewhat easy to tell when you start to doubt yourself, my friend. And honestly, you're doing great work. You are busting your ass trying to get your Kickstarter out. And speaking of, there is going to be the link in chat shortly for the Kickstarter. And since I'm sitting here anyway, let me run the trailer on mute. Can I full screen that? I can, in fact, full screen that. So yeah, you guys enjoy that while I'm talking to you. Let's see. Marku says high power is 9mm. No, the high power was in 45. The original high power. As far as I know, the new FN high power comes 9mm, but I'm sure it's not very difficult to modify it to fire a 45, the proper round. Callan Dayton, because I would say, no, I don't think battle rifles would have a full auto feature. Use a larger caliber than assault. Okay. I would have been under the impression that battle rifles would have a full auto, so it shows you some of my... excuse me. Bleach says, too bad Star Wars only had 6 movies. Technically, Star Wars only had 3 movies, and then people started fucking with the canon. That said, there are elements from all of those movies that should be reused. I think if, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Critical Drinkers, The Drinker Fixes Finn, go and check that out. That video is really good, and it shows the potential for Finn. And I also think that if we're going to look at, fan-based changes, one of the other ones we should look at is actually bringing back Darth Jar Jar. I really, really loved the idea of Darth Jar Jar. I thought it was awesome. Let's see. Marku asks, he's asking not a Bobcat, purpose-built bullpups or converted ones. I am leery of any conversion because it tends to to have other potential problems. But that's just me. I will point out, having taken another look at this, I would want this stock probably further up the Picatinny. But that's more a personal choice. Going for a smoke? Let me see. Kizza says, excuse me, your Monarch is the biggest gearhead around here. Also true. And I don't doubt that for a half a second, Kizza. You're probably a far bigger gearhead than I am myself, in fact. I'm not really much of one. I do love driving, though. Let's see. Not a Bobcat says, the best Star Wars is Episode 3. There are good points in Episode 3. There are good points in all of them. And personally, my personal favorite is still Jedi. But that's because I watched it when it was brand new. And when I was a kid, seeing an epic victory of good over evil definitely was exactly what I needed to see. Oh, I've accidentally jumped a little too far. Okay. Purpose-built bullpups or converted ones? Trim is calling bleach-based. Ah, okay, for the Star Wars comment. Let's see. P90 reminds me of the Typhoon from Crisis 2 and 3, says Callum Dayton. I've never played the Crisis games. I don't know. Let's see. Not a Bobcat says he's never had a purpose-built bullpup. Honestly, given the choice of any weapon as a sidearm, just to change the topic a little bit, I think I'd like to see everybody carrying a Chiappa Rhino. But that's just me, and I'm a bit of a weirdo, to be fair. Let me see here. Marku says he keeps hearing good things about the AUG. Well, the AUG was purpose-built to be a bullpup, same as the P90, so yeah, maybe. Callum Dayton is attempting to drop the Lotus Eaters meme. I'll time you out for that. You do that too many times. Let me see. Stormy says I'm doing... Oh, no. Stormy says Christopher is doing awesome, which is true. You are doing awesome, my friend. Trim says, at least I'm doing my due diligence. The Archcast didn't even give him that. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, with the trailer. Yeah, actually, I did talk to Christopher about that this morning. Maureen giving me shit for being a boomer. Yeah, I deserve that. Okay, Bleach says battle rifle is typically larger cartridge, like the FAL. An assault rifle is a smaller cartridge, like 7.62 39 AK. In that case, I would probably go more battle rifle. In fact, let's have a look at a list of battle rifles. Excuse me. And I do apologize. I know I use Wikipedia far too much. See, I still can't believe the Chainsaw Company makes rifles. Or at least made them. FN. Let's see. That looks a lot like a FAL. Probably a similar pattern. Oh, is that what I... Yeah, it's the Shosha. I should have known. 8x51. It must be a monstrous fucking cartridge. No, probably not. Colt Modular 901. No, I'm not too fond of that. What is this thing? Desert Tech MDR. It's compact. Looks a little like the advanced rifle from Grand Theft Auto 5. There's your FAL. I know a lot of people like the Scar, But honestly, this back end here and all this plastic, I don't know. It just reminds me of vacuum cleaners. I don't like it. Let me see what else. What the hell is that? That's interesting. Oh, it's Carl Gustav. Heckler and Koch. The HK-417. That's a nice looking gun, but not so much. And I will be honest, I do tend to pick my weapons based on the aesthetic appeal initially. That one's made... Is that Israeli? Izhmash? No. Oh, Kalashnikov. Interesting. 12.7 by 55. What in the blue hell is this thing? Close quarters urban operations. Well, if we're going to take over Detroit. 6.5 Creedmoor. I've heard good things about this. I don't know if it's a good cartridge or not. No, Trim won't like it. It has the word Sami in it. Okay, let's get back to the chat here. Okay. Battle rifles are effectively assault rifles on steroids, put simple. Okay. Never seen an original high power in 45. I was under the impression the high power was in 45. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, 40. My apologies. 40 Smith & Wesson. Well, fair enough. But I'm sure you could have one converted. Let me see if the FN high power is listed here. The reason I'm so fond of the high power, of course, you guys have heard me talk about the English high power before. So this should be the new high power that FN has put out. No, I don't wish to join your mailing list. From what I understand, they're significantly stockier. They're in 9mm. Can you get them in? Yeah, I'll accept your cookies. I don't care. You can get them in 9mm. I wonder if you can get them in 45. Remember, kids, 9mm kills the body. 45 ACP kills the soul. That's a Herstall. So we know FN does actually build in 45. Cool. Okay. Callum likes talking guns. I like talking guns too, and I mean, I'm Canadian. I can't even own one. Well, I probably can. I simply haven't gone to the effort to find out what is actually legal for me to own anymore. Let's see. Bleach said, battle rifle is typically larger. To which Callum responded, I would define an assault rifle using an intermediate cartridge with a full auto feature. Oops. Okay. Battle rifles, never seen an original high power 45. Right, like talking guns. Okay, Bezic. Fal has auto, and I consider it a battle rifle. Bleach needs to tell us the full truth, though. Kizza says, Jar Jar Binks was George Lucas's example of a useful idiot, as Yuri Bezmenov warned us about. Yes, as he's presented in the movie, as Lucas has presented it. However, as I understand, Lucas did have, if not a full-on plan, something of an intention. Sorry, just finishing my coffee. But he did have something of an intention to actually make Jar Jar the potentially the re-embodiment of Darth Plagueis, and thereby Anakin's father, which would have been really funny. But I'm not 100% sure about that either. Okay, I'm actually going to take that off screen again and just put my pretty face back there. Let's see. Fal has auto, Jar Jar Binks. Depends on the battle rifle. Fal comes in full auto. Okay. Fal is counted as battle rifle because it fires a full power rifle cartridge. I don't even know what the definition for, what the cutoff would be for a full power rifle cartridge. Excuse me. Episode 3 is the least kids movie of any of them. I would say that's Empire, personally. Let's see. Fire selection doesn't play into the classification, says Bleach. Marku asks if I read his comment right after first high power. I believe I did. If somebody said the M16 was an assault rifle due to the burst, he'd laugh, says Bleach. G3 is bad. I don't know what a G3 is. Oh, okay, it's talking about the rifle. Oh, it's set. Bleach does not like the set me. It says, Monkey says the gun looks ugly. If we're going to invade Greenland, the most important thing is that we look cool doing it. If you want to go invade Greenland, Monkey, you go right ahead. I'm not going anywhere colder than Newfoundland, certainly. Marku says assault rifle is considered to be a rifle that has select fire. Okay, moving along. Calum Dayton, 12.7 by 55. The Type 115 from Arma 3. Okay. Kizza, would you like to see motor racing companies design guns of all classes to see what they do different compared to... Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that actually does sound really interesting, Kizza. I would really like to see what a British company like, say, Jaguar, or, well, used to be a British company, or someone like, oh god, I can only imagine how ugly a Bugatti rifle would be. I'm pretty sure, actually, the company that made my Aveo, Daewoo, which was badged as a Chevy, I think they also sell them as Kalos, or there's a bunch of different names for them, but they're all basically the same car underneath. I believe Daewoo actually did make rifles at one point. I don't know if they do now. And Bleach points out he's never had a high power and 45 ACP. No, I did have that wrong. It was actually 40 Smith & Wesson. Sorry. A pointed stick is soon to be illegal in Canada. Bleach, you're not necessarily wrong, my friend. Stormy points out that a broomstick with black tape is no longer allowed. You're probably not even allowed to walk around with a hockey stick anymore in this country. Especially if you say to someone, well, I'm carrying it just in case a bear attacks me or something. Trim says this is why you should dual wield 9mm and 45. Full power would be a 30-06 or a 303. Okay. Bleach says, what color is your Bugatti rifle, bro? Oh, gods. Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be really interesting to see some of the racing companies. Let me see. Just going to have a quick look at what companies we're looking at here. Oh, I need to back that up. No, it went too far. Auto racing companies. List of the top auto racing firms as of 2017. Okay, no, these are not car builders. Auto racing teams. No, that's American. Try top 10 racing teams in the world. Is that a good choice? Ooh, Ferrari. And Bleach points out that Daewoo made the K2 rifle. Now I really need to have a look at a Daewoo K2 rifle. I do appreciate this, guys. I had no idea what I was going to... Ooh, that's very foul-like, though. Or maybe I'm just a bit... Well, to use a Newfoundland term, a bit stunned when it comes to rifles. But to me, that does look a little bit like a foul. Of course, it's probably just the colors and the setup over here that's doing it. But that is a very nice-looking gun, in my opinion. What did it fire? Unit cost, mass, length, barrel length, cartridge. 5.56 NATO. 223 Remington. It's a decent round. So, oh, it had a carbine. I like the carbine. Wait, how does... Okay, so we've got this gun, which has a folding stock. And then we've got this gun, which has a forward grip. And this is somehow an assault rifle. I'm going to guess they must have changed something mechanically with it as well. Oh, okay, they're saying it resembled the FNC. Yeah, I would say that. That almost looks like a... To me, and again, I have uneducated eyes, this looks to me like a little bit of a cross between an M16 and an AK. Or a Colt and an AK, I guess would be the right way to go. Let's see. Ferrari would be an interesting gun. Bugatti, yeah. All assault rifles underneath are an STG-44. Let's see. Marku says he believes Daewoo still makes guns, but mainly for the South Korean military. Okay. Callum says it looks like an I'm going to say Agrippina. I can't see the very bottom of your comment because of the way the chat doc is. I'll agree to that. Let's see here. Penske. Penske would probably make the most bargain basement, guaranteed to work every single trigger pull rifle or, gun you've ever seen. Hendrik, Target. Target? Really? Target? I don't want a Target gun. Mercedes. Now, I don't know why, or McLaren, but Mercedes especially strikes me as the sorts that would come up with something very reminiscent of the Wolverine, the Whitney Wolverine. And I don't know if everybody here would be familiar with it, so I'm just going to bring it up real fast because I do really love the aesthetics of this gun, even though I think it's only in 22. Yeah, it was only ever 22. Is there an image? Of course there isn't. Why would there be an image? That would make sense. But, yeah, there's your ladies version. I bet Stormy would look gorgeous with that. But yeah, I mean, this is your space age. There we are. There's your space age pistol right there. Right. I mean, personally, I think they're gorgeous. Nice looking, isn't it? Oh yeah, Stormy likes it. Okay. Who else are we looking at here? BMW. I don't know who Childress is. Okay, I'm not actually looking at the builders here. I do apologize because let me see here. Kill that. I'm actually over time. So anyway, guys, I'm going to shut down my other browser. If you guys have any last questions you want to ask me, we'll go for another 5 or 10 minutes. Let's see. Agrippina is a Forge World in the Cadia. Okay, so that's a 40k thing. No wonder I had no idea what the hell you were talking about. Marku says an FNC is basically a FAL in 5.56. Yellow rifle. I'm not quite that bargain basement when it comes to my my liking things. Callum Dayton says the Wolverine looks like 007's gun in space. Yeah, it's definitely a space age design. It's from that atomic age aesthetic. And I mean, some of that stuff is absolutely gorgeous. All those nice, clean, fluid lines. Gotta love it. Let's see. Trim is asking me what my favorite cartoon is. When I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of G.I. Joe, a lot of Transformers. As I was getting older, things like Reboot. A lot of stuff that kids you guys wouldn't even know about because it was probably a one season and gone thing. Like Centurions, which I think was like subtitled Power Extreme. Or Captain N, which was like based on Nintendo, and the character had like a Nintendo controller for a belt buckle. I'm getting a look from across the room. 1 second. What? Okay. I don't know what... Oh, God. Why would you say... No, Bleach. Okay, you're getting timed out for the end. No, I'm just kidding. The Gyrojet. Yes, I have... Wait, they did a rifle? Did I see the Gyrojet pistol or the rifle? Also, the Gyrojet is one of my favorite concepts because it's just twisted. Oh, I have to fix my properties here. The Gyrojet. Oh yeah, I have seen those before. But yeah, I was more thinking about this thing. I can't believe they made rifles. Wow. Where is the National Firearms Museum? Because that's somewhere I want to go now. That's in Virginia. Ah. Well, maybe I don't really want to go that badly. Well, it's not that far from here. But Yeah, no, I'd love to see one of those fired. I'm going to have a look on YouTube later. Trim agrees with me. The Atomic Age aesthetic is beautiful. Kizza, out of 10, how badly would you like to see my own next generation of automobiles if I owned all the British brands under one roof? Oh, yeah! Do it! I'm sorry, but if you could combine, like, Aston Martin and Jaguar and... Oh, God, there's so many really good... Range Rover. If you could get Range Rover back to being a British brand. Yeah, you could make some absolutely wonderful vehicles. Monkey asks, should we get rid of the moon? It seems more hassle than it's worth. Well, it's eventually going to fall into us anyway, so, we might as well wait till it butts against the planet before we get rid of it. Mark Milikowski asked me if I want a space gun. I should go for the HKG-11. Yeah, I saw the Kraut Space Magic video that Ian McCollum did for Forgotten Weapons. That was actually quite entertaining. It is cool looking. Callum points out we need a naval base for the space fleet, so we can't get rid of the moon yet. Kizza wants to know what the best 3-round burst stapler is. Let's see. Troll Gun in Black Ops 1. Brave Star. That was another show I used to watch. Yeah. Kizza. Gearheads of the World Unite. We certainly could do that. Okay, guys. I'm actually going to shut this down here because I want to get, a little bit of food in me before I get on the road. And, I really appreciate you guys coming out. To be honest, because I don't think there'd really be any point in me discussing gearhead stuff, because even, power to weight ratios, I don't really understand that well. I just know that if I put my foot down and it makes me do this, I'm happy. Bleach has a driver jet video. On your channel, Bleach? Oh, God love you. Okay, I'm definitely going to be grabbing that. I can't copy it from there. Can I actually access it? Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I screwed something up there. Now my chat is gone. Okay, anyway, guys, I'm going to stop streaming here about now. Again, I had a great time doing this. I'm probably going to think about doing this once a month or so. Certainly once a season. And season in terms of winter, fall, spring, summer. Actual season. Not those TV seasons that have suddenly become 6 episodes. That's bullshit. We can talk about that another time too. In any case, as I said, I'm going to cut her off here. So, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you continue to have good days. And as always, rise and rise again until lambs become lions. Bye-bye.